Hey Sag, what's going on? I hope you're doing very well. My name is Diane, for those of you who don't know me, and this is Madam Butterfly Tarot, and we're going to do a general reading for May, but it's timeless, you know, all my readings are timeless, so whenever you happen to find this is when you were meant to see it. You're very welcome here, Sag. Thanks for being here with me. I appreciate it very much. And if you feel called to like and subscribe for me, I would appreciate that a lot too. And if the color is weird on this video, I'm really sorry. I had it set perfectly to what I wanted, and then Samsung did an update on it and like screwed the camera settings. It basically installed a new camera. Ugh, not happy. So I've like done the best I can with it, but apologies if it's weird. I'll have to tweak it again a little bit, and obviously we'll never be buying another Samsung camera again, so I hope it was worth it, Samsung, your crappy little updates that no one asked for. I'm going to reshuffle that. Okay, I'm going to stop ranting. So let's see, what is going on for Sag? What is going on for Sagittarius? Okay, Page of Swords, or Princess of Swords, Nine of Swords. All right, so there's a delay going on here with something, because the Nine of Swords is an energy of overthinking, worrying, prophet of doom. You know, worrying that things are going to turn out like they did in the past based on past events, which is legit. You know, that's how the human brain functions, but it's causing a little bit of a delay. The Two of Wands, the Nine of Cups. So there's a partnership in the future that's going to make you really happy. There's a new pathway that's been opened up for you that's going to make you really happy. You have the Judgment card, the Five of Cups. Ooh, so there's some devil energy getting in the way. That's what is causing this delay with the Page of Swords here. So the devil is the thing that's holding us back, which for you could be like intrusive thoughts. You have the Nine of Swords with the Justice card. So there's a need to see through this overthinking, this worrying, this sleepless nights. You're going to be able to see through that soon. Meditation might help, you know, going for walks, things like that, things that ground your energy. You could also be thinking like maybe you had a bad karmic experience with someone in the past. Maybe you had a bad divorce. Maybe you had a bad legal separation, and that's what you're thinking about now. You have the Nine of Pentacles with the Two of Wands, the Queen of Swords with the Nine of Cups, Judgment with the Temperance card, and the Five of Cups with the Four of Swords. So there's been like a period here of time out. Four of Swords is like a time out where Spirit, you know, you're either recovering from something or you're resting your physical vessel. But with the Five of Cups, it talks about overcoming the past, like, you know, moving on from sadness from the past. So it tends to talk about a little bit of a period of shadow work. But you are ready now. So this is something that you have been through, that you are ready to move on from now. The Temperance is also a card of healing, and it's also kind of a boring card. You know, the Four of Swords and Temperance means there's a delay, right? Which is just boring. But you have the Magician, which means that like you're ready. You know, you have everything you need now to move forward, is what Spirit is telling you now. You're coming out of this. You may just be at the tail end, or you may have already finished it. You're coming out of this boring phase of healing. Yeah, Ace of Swords. So this is like a breakthrough. You know, in the way that you're thinking, like a mental breakthrough. So you're coming out of like a Queen of Swords energy, which can be you know, keeping people at bay. You know, she's got that big sword, right? Which is like, okay, I'm going to listen, you know, I'll listen, sure. But if you say anything I don't like, or if I smell anything even remotely wrong, you get the sword, okay? So there's like a breakthrough in this Queen of Swords energy of keeping people at bay. And you're moving into the Nine of Cups energy, which is being very happy with where you are. You know, knowing that it's not the Ten of Cups, it's not like your final destination, but you're happy enough with where you are. And you're moving into this Page of Cups energy, which is like a, you know, it's getting your innocence back, basically. Like, Queen of Swords is very much not an innocent energy, you know, like, they've been through a lot of stuff. A lot of people have screwed them over, or one particular person has really screwed them over. So they feel like they have to really defend themselves. Whereas the Page of Cups is very soft and very innocent and very sweet, like almost naive, kind of wearing their heart on their sleeve kind of thing. And it's because you're being prepared for a partnership. So if you've been single for a while, you can say goodbye to that because there's a person coming in here. I can also see that you've done a lot of work on your self-esteem with the Nine of Pentacles here. And the Two of Wands usually talks about shadow work as well. So, also your intuition is going to be, yeah, there's something going on with your psychic energy. So I don't know if you've been wanting to develop your psychic gifts, or it's just becoming more pronounced as like a part of, I don't know, like you've come out of this period of shadow work or something. So this is the result. You have some kind of pathway in the future that's probably going to, if you want, you don't have to do it. Well, you don't have to, but they'll make things difficult for you if you don't, probably. That's what they did for me anyway. There's like a psychic pathway, or like a very intuitive pathway that has been laid open for you. But it couldn't happen until you were in this Nine of Pentacles energy, which is like really seeing your own worth, building your self-confidence. It could be a business. The Nine of Pentacles can talk about owning your own business. But there was actually a need to get out of the Queen of Swords energy back into this Page of Cups, which is like, you know, sweet, loving, open, like emotionally open. But, you know, you'll never quite... If you were something, you know, maybe like a little naive before, it's never going to go back to being naive because it's underpinned by this self-confidence now. So like maybe before, you know, there was like a people-pleasing aspect to it or something like that, where, you know, you wanted to make other people happy or something like that. So it led to you sort of abandoning yourself or like abandoning your boundaries. That's a thing of the past. But you have this magical combination of this really sweet, innocent energy, but like it's underpinned by this like fierce self-confidence. So, yeah. You know, it's like only the worthy get past. Your crown chakra is going to be like really open. So you're going to be receiving a lot of messages from spirit. And it's up to you what you decide to do with that. I also see this is a random message for the girls watching, for the women, I should say. I can see your hair getting quite a bit longer, which is actually something that's associated with the crown chakra, believe it or not. Like it encourages hair growth. And you have the Three of Wands here. So this is about moving on, moving towards the future. So there's definitely something here where you've managed to calm your mind. You've managed to see clearly and balance your mind. Because I think there's been like a bit of this Five of Swords energy going on here in terms, like with this devil. You know, this Five of Swords energy, it can be like kind of self-defeating, getting yourself into a negative headspace, like in the way that you're thinking about things. You know, like with the Justice card, maybe there's an energy of like, it's not fair. It's not fair. The things that happen to me are not fair. Like, and I agree with you, they're very likely not fair, but that doesn't help. That doesn't help you. Because please don't think I'm pontificating at you either. This is something I had to learn, like, and I'm still in the process of learning it. Like, it's not a punishment, the things that happen to you. Like, it was a lesson so that you can step into your future self, which for some of you, there's like a pathway that's been led out for you by spirit. And it's like a psychic path. It could be, like I said, it could be owning your own business, but for some reason you have to be very confident to do it. So the stuff that's happened to you in the past has taught you to be really confident now. Because I think for a while, maybe you're in this Queen of Swords energy, which is like kind of a ball buster energy, but it's like a little, it's like coming out of your people pleasing energy, like a little too hard, you know, and just being like, fuck you, don't touch me, you know, whereas it's, the Page of Cups is getting even a couple of steps past that, where you are letting people in, but your boundaries are still fierce, you know what I mean? Because there's a heavy energy that you've been carrying that is now, it's over. You're moving out of that energy, or you will be very soon. I feel like maybe it's just you feel like things were unfair, or the deck was stacked against you or something. For some of you anyway, that could be something that you've been leaving behind. And I can see here with the Three of Wands, you can see what needs to be done to get onto this new pathway. It's almost like a new timeline, in all honesty. And you have this Ten of Pentacles here. You have a lot of money headed your way, Sag. And you know what? It's yours. You have this... It's a Nine of Pentacles card, but I can see Six Pentacles here, the way that I've just put that card down. So the Six of Pentacles means like the universe is giving it to you. It's yours. You earned it. The Ten of Pentacles is a lot of money, especially with the Nine of Pentacles. That's like kiss my ass money, you know? And with the Justice card, you're meant to have it. Like karmically, it's meant to be yours. I think you just needed to see things in a different way, because it's difficult to move forward when you're bitter. It's an experience that I have had to go through myself, right? So I know where you're coming from. But yeah, you're about to step into like a lot of money here. But there was definitely a heartbreak here with the Three of Swords. It doesn't have to be a heartbreak. It can, like from a romance, it can be like a lot of things happened, like your family broke your heart, or you had friends that broke your heart or something, you know? And you have a new person coming in with the Two of Cups here. We're going to reshuffle that one though. You have the Eight of Pentacles here. So this is about your work. You're about to start making a lot of money from your work. The Eight of Pentacles is being very, very good at something, or someone's watching you. This Two of Cups is watching you. So you're about to make a lot of money from something that you're very good at. The Eight of Pentacles is something you're very good at, something you're very skilled at. It's often taken a while to get there. You know, the Eight of Pentacles can talk about like taking yourself out of society almost. You know, becoming a little consumed by what you're doing, or obsessed, like an obsessive energy, which is how I learned the tarot, by the way. So like no shade here. But the reason that that's happened is because you've been in this Queen of Swords energy where you weren't hanging out with people and you weren't dating. So it's like, right, fuck it. I'm just going to learn this skill then. I'm just going to, you know, that's what I'm going to do. So I wonder if that's what you've been doing. Like you just put a lot of effort into your work, or this could be like a side hustle that you got really good at, or you were like, you know what, I'm just going to study really hard from now on. And then you graduated with this thing and now you've got all this money coming in, right? But you're good at it. Also with the Queen of Swords, this could be about communication. The Queen of Swords talks about taking information from the ether and putting it out into society some way. So like writing a book, counseling, YouTuber, teaching, anything like that, making movies, you know, which would fit very well because you have that Page of Cups, which is like a psychic thing as well, you know. I can see you definitely here moving into a softer energy though, and this is for males or females, like you're moving into this softer energy. Yeah, there's this new person coming in here. You have this King of Wands here that's been watching you. You have the Temperance card with the King of Wands, so it could be Sagittarius energy. It's also Aries and Leo. So this person has been watching you, or they will be watching you for this Eight of Pentacles that you've been doing. So some kind of work that you've been doing. So you guys might know each other through work. They might see, it could be to do with talking, because I've just lost my voice. They might see something that you post. You know, they might see your work online or something and be like, ooh, I like that, that's cool. And you have the Two of Cups here. So this person's sort of thinking, I like the way this bitch thinks, or I like the way this guy thinks. Excuse me. I like the way this asshole thinks. Like Two of Cups, like soulmate, besties, like, yeah, this guy's kind of talking my language, you know what I mean? Like, I like this, like the work that they're creating. They're also watching you create wealth. So I think that's impressive. And look at that. Queen of Wands here. So this person is seeing you as like their counterpart here, like their Queen of Wands or their King of Wands, whoever you are. These are people who get a lot of attention. The King and the Queen of Wands get a lot of attention. They're usually very good looking, or at the very least, they're very charismatic, you know, very alluring. They're often like leaders in their field, you know, they can own their own business, which is kind of what it looks like a lot of you are going to be doing. Or they're a manager. You could be doing that too. You could be leading a team, you know, you could be writing a book, leader, some kind of leader energy, alpha male, alpha female. They see you as their counterpart here, which could be something that you've only recently stepped into. Seven of Wands, both of you are like getting a lot of attention here. This could be something you didn't want with the Four of Cups. Maybe you didn't want this attention, you know, maybe you just wanted to be left alone, but tough. Doesn't look like that's your future, Sag. And you know, fire signs are meant to be seen. You guys are natural leaders. Like, fire signs are always natural leaders. And you're looking fine. Two of you are looking very fine. So this money will come in, like, the more that you step into this like leadership energy, you know. All right, so let's ask what this is then. Let's see if they'll give us some cards from this one. Okay, make plans and focus is the energy that I think you're stepping into now. Okay, so you have Shield, Maiden, make plans and focus. So you may have just been coming out of this energy where, you know, like the intrusive thoughts were getting in the way. You know, and you were thinking about all the stuff that happened, you were thinking about the past, or like this heartbreak. You may also have been thinking about, it's not fair, which I totally understand, or like thinking about past karmic connections, or just overthinking, something like that. Take your pick. But I can see you here, like you're getting out of that Nine of Swords energy, whatever that was for you. And you're moving into the Justice card, which is being able to think clearly. So like, I don't know if you've been meditating, or you're just managing your energy better, or you're just naturally coming out of the shadow work. You know, it's just done. But you're in a period now where you're actually focusing, like you're making plans for the future. You're like, okay, what do I want? You might even be making a vision board or something similar. You know, it's like, okay, instead of thinking about what's gone wrong or dwelling on things that could go wrong, I'm going to think about what I need to do, make plans and focus on that shit, right? With the Three of Wands, it's like stepping stones. So you might not be able to see, I can feel an energy here of, I can't see the full plan, but you can see the next few steps, right? So do that. That's what I feel like the energy is that you're stepping into. Because even in that Two of Wands energy, that you can't quite see the ending. So there's like an energy of having to go on faith with spirit a little bit here, which may have been what was fucking you up, right? Because, you know, if you were thinking it was unfair and you were thinking about all the stuff that happened to you, it makes it hard to have faith, right? So You also have the shapeshifter, transform and unveil your gifts. So there's something here, you know, they just drew my attention to that Nine of Wands, sorry, the Nine of Cups energy here, which is, it's almost like an explosion. So I can see you almost like bursting out of your shell here, or like bursting, like poof, this is what I can do. Here I am, you know, with the Ace of Swords, like instead of trying to keep people at bay, it's like showing them what you can do, showing people your gifts, and also figuring out new gifts. And I feel this is related to psychic stuff for a lot of you. So you're going to figure out new stuff that you can do. It could also be to do with like work. You know, you're going to figure out new stuff that you're good at. I feel there's a lot of it. And I feel it's like a little explosion. You know, it's like you've been quiet, and then it's like, poof, here I am. I'm here. Okay, what else for Sag? Anything else from this deck for Sag? Was it this one's or this one? This one? Okay. So you have two here. You have the eagle, see from a higher perspective, and you have the direction guardian, choose your path. This is a message that I had for Scorpio. So I wonder if you're dealing with a Scorpio, or you're cross-watching, or you have some Scorpio in your chart. It's like you've chosen your path here, because you could have chosen to stay stuck in this energy of like, it's not fair. You know, so much shit happened to me, blah, 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 blah. But it's like you've chosen to see what went on from like a higher perspective. You know, like, oh, it's my lesson. Or I can use this to better my life, or I can use this to help other people or something, or I can channel this into art. Or, you know, I've become more spiritual since this happened, so it's a good thing or something. Or if it hadn't been for that, I would never have met this person, or blah, 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 something like this. So I can see here that you've chosen to see all this stuff that's gone on from a higher perspective. It's been like an active choice. And I can see here that you're choosing like the good path, the path of righteousness. I can even see here with the Justice card, there was two choices, and you've chosen this path, which is the good path, like, in my opinion, you know, choosing to not get bitter about what happened, or to at least release the bitterness, choosing to turn what happened to you into like money or help for other people or art, or to better your own life, something like this. So good for you, because you know what? Most people don't do that. You know, and you could have taken it to a dark place. So maybe you've just come through like some kind of test or some shit like that. And you have the shaman, trust in higher forces. So I think that's what you've been having to do here. There's been a delay. Again, this Four of Swords, it's a delay. And I think it was a period here where you could have chosen to gone either way. You know, you could have chosen to be like, well, all this bad stuff happened and that's not fair, so like I'm not going to do anything else, and spirit's not real, or like spirit only, you know, I can't trust them or whatever. But you've kind of chosen to trust that maybe you don't have all the answers, or you don't know exactly why things happen, but it's like there's a trust there with you and spirit. Also, I can see here with this Four of Swords, like I wonder if you've recently moved into some kind of shamanish energy, like learning to heal and heal other people, or reading books about shamanism or something. There's been like an increase in the knowledge that you have about spirituality, which is really interesting. there's like, I wonder if you've had to forgive people too. I wonder if you've had to forgive spirit a little bit. Tell me about the, okay, let's take that one then. You have inner temple, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. So again, that's like a, excuse me, that's a heart space, like that's a heart chakra thing. So, you know, you may have had to do some healing in your heart chakra. Like forgiving spirit, forgiving things that happen, forgiving things that people have done to you. Also, there's like this like devotion to spirit or devotion to the path, devotion to the mission is still there. But you may have had to choose it again because you could have gone the other way. So it may almost have been like a test from spirit, like, well, what are you going to do? You know, are you going to stick with us even though things are shit? Or, you know, are you going to go the other way? What is this one? Dance with life. Do something to change your energy. All right. Like what? What do you suggest? Oh, I see what that is. Okay, so there's been a choice here that you've made to like stop resisting and go with the flow of life. Like, yeah, with this shaman card here, it's like, well, I don't really know why things are happening, or I may not know exactly why, but I'm sort of trusting to go with, like, I'm sort of going with the flow here and like trusting spirit, even though they're butt munches and they've done all this stuff, you know. Okay, anything about this dance card then you want to tell, Sag? Give me 3, please. Sorry. Sorry, Sag. Okay, I'm just going to take that one that they gave us. So you have deep breathing. And again, there's like they're talking about your crown chakra here. So one of the things that they're asking you to do is like making sure you're breathing. So now that could talk about a couple of things. That can talk about like breath work, like proper breath work. It can talk about making sure that you're breathing properly, like maybe doing some pranic breathing, you know, belly breathing. Belly breathing is really easy. Just think babies. Babies always do belly breathing. So just watch a video of a baby breathing and that's basically it. So they might want you to just sit and do some deep breathing because there's a lot of messages that want to come in through your crown chakra, but maybe you're like stressed all the time or something like that. Finding the love of your life. There you go. That's this new person here is the love of your life. Oh shit. But you have to maybe do a lot of forgiving and moving on to allow space for this person to come in. Anything else for Sag? Take some time off if you can. Ah, and you have learned a new hobby. Interesting. Interesting. Where do I want to put this? I don't know. I'm going to put it here. So this could be to do as well with, like if you feel like you need to do something to change your energy, taking a little bit of time off might be something that's good for you. Like not even necessarily taking a holiday, because I know not everyone can, but if you just squeeze in like a couple of hours at the weekend or something, like learning a new hobby, doing something new. Even like going for a walk in a different place, you know, boring adult shit, like that kind of thing, or learning an instrument badly, or, you know, colouring in or something. Could be that you're learning some shamanism stuff. This new person could be into that stuff too for some of you, like shamanism. Okay, spiritual healer just fell on the floor and went miles away, so I'm not going to get it. But that could be you. You could be turning into a spiritual healer in the future. This new person that's coming into your life could be a spiritual healer. Shamans are spiritual healers, so maybe you're learning some kind of shamanistic practice. Oh, you're leading a team here. This will be where the money comes in. I think they wanted you to be softer though when this came in for some reason. Like they didn't want you in this Queen of Swords energy when you were leading this team. I'm going to get 3 more. Get out of your head. Okay. That's where this 9 of Swords energy comes in. Maybe just overthinking and like ruminating on things. You know, part of the issue is that your crown chakra is very open, which can be very overwhelming. Like people who have a very open crown chakra need to meditate, or they need to go for walks, or they need to journal or something. Okay. Yeah, you've also been forgiving all this stuff that happened in the past year. You've been seeing it from a higher perspective, or that's what you're doing now. So if you're doing that now, they just want you to know that all this beautiful future stuff is here for you on the other side. And you know what? It's not easy. Like learning to forgive people that are not sorry is not easy. You have a lot of abundance headed your way. Yeah. And even learning to forgive spirit, you know. Give me 2 more. What else for Sag? Stop worrying and overthinking. And 1 more. What else for Sag? No? Nothing else? 1 more? Come on. Throw me a freaking bone here. No? Is that it? Oh, there we go. Spiritual teacher. Okay. So where do we want to put this? Here, between these 2 people here. So now only take this if it resonates. You don't have to do this. There could be some function for you in the future, or even like right now as a spiritual teacher. You know, sounds kind of like woo-woo, but people that are on the spiritual path, that's generally what happens. Like, you know, you have your awakening through usually some horrible event. You go into your hermit phase, you do a lot of healing and learning. You release a bunch of stuff, and then you come out on the other side and you're supposed to teach other people what you learned in some way. So that could be in terms of just a generalized spiritual teacher, you know, like a book or a YouTube channel or a class or something. It could be something very specific, like teaching people meditation, or teaching people how to heal through art, or tarot, mediumship, teaching people how to forgive. I don't know, something like that. It would be some kind of leadership position though. And I feel like the new person probably does the same thing, or they do something similar. Like you guys work in the same field-ish. So that's how you would meet. And you're very, very similar. Your head is very similar. Like you think the same way. And they're very, very interested in you. Okay, so that's your messages, Sag. I hope it was a useful reading. Many thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for me if you feel like doing that. I'd appreciate that a lot too. And as always, I wish you many blessings, love and light. Take care.